Good afternoon, my friends. This is Pastor Kelly here with another edition, a Friday edition of Sound Bytes, late again. We've been working on post-traumatic stress and talking the last couple of weeks about that, and a lot of feedback on that. We're going to move on to a little different subject in our grief, trauma, and loss series. We're going to next subheading we're going to have is "Say what?" Question mark. Say what? What do you say? And what do you not say to somebody who has lost a loved one or has suffered trauma or any type of loss in their life? I get asked this question a lot because I have had a lot of things said to me. And after pastoring for 35 years, I've said a lot of things to people. So how do you help somebody who has been lost? Or at least maybe this will add some clarity to how you react or respond when people say things to you unknowingly, not trying to hurt you, but they do because you have suffered this loss. The first one, I hear this one a lot. I heard this a lot. I hope I never said this. If I did in your loss, please forgive me. But it's a sentence that starts with "at least." This is a real common one. No one likes pain. Everyone likes a happy ending, as my friend Dorrance Howland says. Everyone wants a happy ending. So they want to, it's very difficult for people to process sometimes your loss. They can't put themselves through it, or at least they just want it to go back to normal. They don't want you to be broken. They don't want you to be hurting. They want you to go back to where it was normal for them. That's very human. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that person. It's just what it is. It's just the way that it is. So they look at you and you've had this great loss in your life, and they start a sentence like "at least." We lost our daughter Hannah. At least you have Sadie. You know, there are no replacement children. There's no one child cannot replace another. Having a child cannot lessen the loss of another. There is no silver lining there. Okay, at least, but people say that to us, not wanting to hurt us, but they're just trying to minimize in their own mind. Well, at least you have this going for you, even though you went through this. Maybe you have an abusive husband, and you've been abused in a marriage, or a wife, and you've been abused in a marriage, and physically, psychologically, emotionally abused. And maybe you said this: at least you've had these wonderful children through that marriage. Well, yeah, at least they're wonderful kids, but I could have had wonderful kids without being abused, right? There's no "at least" at that. You had miscarriage. You've had many miscarriages, and you've had the trauma of miscarrying, dying, and loving to have children, and you have miscarriage after miscarriage, and people say, well, at least you can try again, or at least you can have more kids, or at least you have these other kids. They love to minimize, in a sense, their loss and your loss, and many times again, that's not to hurt you or attack you. It's to help them process it. They can't process your loss. They want you to be normal. They wanted me to be normal. They wanted me to go back, my wife to be back. So at least, I've heard those two words so many times. After a while, you get a little angry. Sometimes you hear those words. Few people said it to my wife. My wife almost had to go to jail because I had to break them up. At least, two words that you do not want to say to somebody who has suffered trauma, grief, and loss. We'll have another thing on Monday. Bless you all. Have a great, great weekend.